at the age of 12 or something like that, I probably started smoking weed.
At 12?
Yeah. And, drinking beer and liquor and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And, but it was normalized. Like, everybody did it. I didn't never say, oh, I'm about to go buy fentanyl.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody gave me fake perk, you know what I'm saying? And I actually had a bunch of them. That one I grabbed out of there, and took it. And next thing you know, I'm unresponsive.
Wow.
For a long time. And it was out of body. You know what I mean? My family and my friends and stuff all around and seeing me in that state. I'm not knowing, but I pop up at the studio and man, we in the studio and it's just a great day. And I hear the track playing. I'm like, he must finna do the song without me. He walked in like, oh, you got your verse ready? I'm like, yeah. And he was like, oh yeah. And Kirk on the way. I'm like, Kirk on the way. And then Sunday service came in, the live choir.
Wow.
Man, I was like, this is the time. I'm about to say it.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I'm about to tell this story and I'm about to say what I need to say.
Hey family, welcome to the Jamal Bryant Podcast. Let's be clear. I can't tell you how significant and monumental this moment is for me. Just recently, 800 Black people got citizenship in Ghana. But today, I get citizenship in Atlanta. I finally got Young Dro in the building. My credentials are all good. This is like peach cobbler and sweet tea. Mix it all together. Sir, welcome.
Well, thank you.
I'm glad to have you.
Thank you for having me, man.
I'm now from Atlanta.
Yeah, you from the A now.
Man, thank you. I got to put an A on my chest.
Yeah, Bankhead to be exact.
Thank you. I'm going through the hood and say Young Dro sent me.
Yes, sir.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. I saw a video of a white guy who said that the peril of the Black community is our music.
Mm-hmm.
That the music that we play nonstop on the radio, no other community would ever allow itself to play. In the denigration of women, the glorification of drugs and alcohol, the celebration of poverty and street culture. You can't find it on no other station but on a Black station. You agree with that?
I mean, I wouldn't call it. I wouldn't say it was a bad thing. I think we have the right to say what the world has, shown us or what society has shown us. We have the right to tell you what drugs are in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We have the right to tell you how many guns are on the street and who's using them. You know what I mean? To me, it's awareness.
Wow. Yeah, the Public Enemy said years ago, we're not entertainers, we're news reporters.
I mean, the best kind, you know what I mean? Who better to tell the story of where we're at? You know what I mean? And if we can put a beat to it and put a couple of rhymes on it, don't get jealous. You know what I mean? Even though sometimes it's how you do it, ain't what you do.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Well, how did you get involved in rap culture?
Oh, I wanted to be an R&B singer, man.
No way.
I wanted to be, because I sung in the choir, you know what I'm saying?
Where?
And Smith Chapel Baptist Church over there on Simpson Road.
No way.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Okay, well, let's pause here. Who the top 3 living or dead R&B singers?
Top 3 R&B singers.
Living or dead?
I would have to say Luther Vandross.
Okay.
JoJo?
I'm with you. Jodeci JoJo?
Yeah,
yes.
Jodeci JoJo. What's that KC? The one that
KC.
Okay, KC.
Yes.
He tough. Who else, man? R&B.
You got one more.
I got one more. I would have
Everybody's
to go.
leaning in. They want to know.
I would have to go. Brian McKnight.
Okay. This is why you didn't make it.
Why?
Ain't nowhere in the world you gonna say Brian McKnight
It's
in the top 3 of all time.
Well,
you putting him over R. Kelly.
I didn't want to say that on here.
Why?
Because
whatever he can say.
Yeah, well, you know what?
You putting Brian McKnight over Marvin Gaye.
You're right.
You putting Brian McKnight over Teddy Pendergrass.
You're right. Otis Redding.
Over Otis Redding.
Yes, I was
They
wrong.
They didn't come to see you, Otis.
I was trying to be politically correct.
No,
you got me. You got me. You got me.
Yeah, no. I believe you can fly.
Yeah, I believe I can soar.
Yeah. So you shifted out of R&B, came into rap music.
Oh yeah.
We got to intensify.
So
hold on. We had halftime in the Super Bowl.
Okay, go.
Who the top 3 rap artists, living or dead?
Top 3 rap artists,
living or dead.
Tupac Shakur.
Okay.
Biggie Smalls.
You doing good. You 2 for 2.
Right now, I have
living or dead. Living or dead.
I have to go with Kendrick Lamar right now. Living.
Okay, I got to ask you this. This ain't even what the show is about, y'all. It ain't nothing. We done made a sideswipe. You think Kendrick Lamar is better than Lil Wayne? Come on now.
Why you putting me on the spot like this?
You said that.
So you ever heard of 2 people are great at something?
Yes.
And they're different?
Yes.
Lil Wayne is my street spirit animal.
Yeah.
And Kendrick Lamar is he's my other kind of spirit animal, like on an intellectual, like when he speaks.
On a higher level.
On a higher level, like on a
higher consciousness level.
Conscious level. Like he's my spirit animal on a conscious level, that.
I got it. My 3, I'm just reversing it. I'm Biggie number 1.
Yeah.
I'm Biggie number 1. I'm Tupac 2.
So what's that with because I'm Pac 1.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Why?
Because Pac was like everything. Like he was all around the board, like actor, activist.
Yeah. But
street.
We wasn't dealing with the top 3 actors. I'm just dealing with rapping.
I mean,
you dealing with brand.
Rapping.
Dealing with brand. Biggie didn't have a brand outside of just rapping.
That's okay. Well, I still say Pop because his voice was commanding and strong and powerful, and it just dominated.
I'm for it.
Yeah,
I grew up with him in Baltimore before he made the West Coast shift.
Biggie had style now.
Oh yeah, no, I still got Coogee sweaters. I don't wear them.
Man, I'm telling you,
but I still got them. I still got a Versace shirt.
You did.
I don't wear it.
Yeah,
but I just keep it there in honor of them.
Yeah, I can go for that.
Yes. I grew up in the East Coast, West Coast era, and then Atlanta came.
Yes,
Atlanta disrupted the whole hip hop culture.
I'll go for that.
By making us go south.
Yes. South.
Nobody was even looking south.
Right.
Till Atlanta said, hey, we over here.
Andre 3000. South got something to say.
Yes.
Yes.
You got to put Andre in it. And, like it or not, you got to put T.I. in there.
Yeah. Of course you got to put my boy.
When he said he the king of the South.
Yeah,
we didn't even know the South had a kingdom till T.I. said it.
It does.
we didn't even know it had a kingdom.
Yes,
I promise you we did.
It did.
And you came and walked alongside the king. That makes you Prince.
Yeah, I'll go for that.
Okay. So tell me what the kingdom look like right now.
I mean, Atlanta is... I believe that Atlanta still is what it was back when Martin Luther King and Joseph E. Lyry and John Lewis and Andrew Young, when everybody was running in Atlanta. Yeah. It's still the same thing in modern day with the 2 Chainz. As far as not like on a popularity, I mean.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Kings ran Atlanta back then and Kings run it now. Like, you know, I look at the T.I.s, the Jeezys, the 2 Chainz, the Ludacris, you know what I mean? The Jermaine Dupri's. Like Atlanta just always been that spot where like a lot of great people, a lot of important people, a lot of people that move the needle, you know what I mean, on African culture, on Black culture, you feel me, in a major way, and still do to this day, the Killer Mites. You feel what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And it feels like this is just that. It's always going to be that because that's just what it is. You know what I mean? Atlanta is very powerful and it influences everything.
No, Atlanta is Wakanda.
Yeah.
Seriously, the
I totally
black
could dig it.
culture at its best, from HBCUs to black businesses to black restaurants to black churches to black entertainers to black athletes. This is it.
Yes. I
And
agree.
you can't find a greater example of black excellence in this city. And you are in the center of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
You can't come through it.
Yeah.
Without dealing with it. I want you to walk me through. I often say to people, nobody understands what it means to be successful and depressed. That you can be high and feel low. Yeah. I want you to talk about how you are emerging light, not just in the city, but for the industry and for the culture, and found yourself in addiction.
Well, it started off, well, where I come from, addiction didn't look like addiction. So
Say more on that.
It was normalized. Well, everybody smoked dope, you know what I'm saying, in the house. So we knew not to mess with crack, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like heroin and needles and stuff like that. But other things that we seen in the neighborhood, alcohol, drinking, pills, cocaine, you feel what I'm saying? These were things that people had and used that was getting money. You know what I'm saying? So you see the big drug dealer, he got the car, the rims, the jewelry, you know what I'm saying, the girls, you know what I'm saying, we at the clubs, you know, and they have these things and it looks like they're in perfect health at one point in their life, you know, and you looking at it as a kid and you're like, oh, this is it, you know. So once I do get money, I don't have any recollection but to do what I seen, you know what I'm saying? So that would happen, you know, at the age of 12 or something like that. I'd probably start smoking weed.
At 12?
Yeah. And, you know, drinking beer and liquor and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And, but it was normalized. Like, you know, everybody did it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was running in. And then, so the reason why it was so common and normalized, because most of my friends' parents smoked crack, you know what I'm saying? Or was on drugs. Like, you know what I mean? My daddy smoked dope for 50 years. So he went, what he was going to say, you know what I'm saying? And my mama didn't do drugs, but you know what I'm saying? She wasn't powerful enough to just tame a boy.
Yeah.
And you know, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it started that in the neighborhood, you know, we picked up that. So by the time I got to the industry, it had already been embedded. You know what I mean? I had already had a focus on what to do, what not to do that was like frowned upon. You know, you can't be smoking crack. You know what I'm saying? Nobody does that. You know, we serve that, and I don't have to serve my aunties and uncles and my daddy. You know what I'm saying? So
I got to pause you.
But
because you smoking weed at 12, 13, 14.
Yeah.
And, ladies and gentlemen, you smoking weed and you on the youth choir.
No, because so here it was. By the time I really started getting into drugs like that 12, I had begun, because I was singing in the choir since I was like 8.
Oh wow.
You know what I'm saying? So by the time I got that far in, because my grandma used to give me these little gold caps. She was like, baby, sing this Sunday, I'm gonna get you that gold cap. And I had like, by the time I got through singing, I had like 4 of them. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and, you know what I mean? So I started to feel like, you know what, when I started going that way and really knowing what sin was, it used to make me dizzy. Like I could say a cuss word or do something, you know, bad or something, and I would totally get dizzy. Like, this is crazy. Right. It was almost like, I don't know what that feeling was, but you know, by the time I turned 12 and something like that, I was kind of veering off of it. We still went to church, but I was like, and then my cousin them used to be sitting in the front of while I was singing that crying and stuff, he'd be like, why y'all crying and I'm singing? That's making me shy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's singing, cuz. I'm like, man, you get on my nerves. So I kind of like, that's when I was like, singing brings out something in people that make them look at me. And I don't know. I started to perspire, lose deodorant and stuff like. I was like, I'm ashamed now. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of veered away from that, and I wanted this persona. I didn't want that persona anymore. I didn't want that singing softness, because my exterior is supposed to be what I was taught to be, was like tough. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. So I kind of veered away from it when I started smoking weed and doing stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And my grandmama always used to say, well. She used to tell my mom, "Oh, this kid gonna be something." You know what I'm saying? And she had a piano for me and everything.
Wow.
I just didn't.
Could you play it?
Nah, because when I saw it, I kept wondering why my grandma was like, "Why is this piano sitting in the living room?" And she was like, "Well, that's yours, babe." I was like, "What?" And then she had this lady come teach me a couple of times until I started like hiding from the lady and stuff like that, because I knew what I wanted to be was something different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I would start doing that at that age, and then got to the industry, and
it amplified.
It amplified to the point where like, it went from having fun to glorifying it, because I knew that I was like, well, this ain't what my grandmama would approve of, or my mama wouldn't even approve of it, but she can't really, put no hold on it. So, and I felt bad about that. So in my lyrics, I would glorify it. One of my first songs, I was talking about rolling off of pills and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So I think just to deflect, I just put it in my songs. Yeah. And, it went from having a good time to actually, this is an addiction. You know what I mean?
What was that defining moment where you said to yourself, Joe, this is out of control?
A couple of times. You know what I mean? But I said it was out of control. But when you're on a roller coaster, you have thoughts, but the ride hasn't stopped. You know what I mean? I had a lot of, aha moments or light bulbs, like, oh boy, this is getting crazy. But the roller coaster was still rolling. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I don't even think I ever got off in time enough to think sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Because the trauma that I went through, I had got shot right after then. Like when I was like 15, I had a colostomy bag on, and, I had got shot up and stuff like that. So that was one of the things that I was traumatized from.
But how did that happen?
In grown people business. You know what I'm saying? And trying to be some I saw, tough guy,
right.
You know what I mean? And, and ended up getting shot. You know what I'm saying? So that would play a part in it. It's so many, it's the story I got that led me up to here is super long. You know what I mean? But the thing about what got me here is the music, what I've been through, and how I got out of it. You know what I'm saying? So being shot and coming up and moving around and getting into addiction, and then getting into the industry, and then having the money to fund the addiction, right. You know what I'm saying? Then the girls, and then the fame, and then hit song after hit song. You know what I mean? It only fueled what I was running from, the trauma.
Yeah. Tell me about the impact of surviving and near OD.
Well, I OD'd, so I didn't understand it.
Were you home? Were you on the road?
I was somewhere I ain't supposed to be.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so it was a point where I was trying to run from my professional life and then the hood life. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling the professional people, I got this, man. Good. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm going to the hood and I'm letting the hood people see, oh, I'm famous, bro. I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when that happened, everybody was like, you're not okay. Like, and I was like, and I didn't know what fentanyl was. You know what I'm saying? I didn't understand what fentanyl, I didn't never say, oh, I'm about to go buy fentanyl.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody gave me fake perk, you know what I'm saying? And I actually had a bunch of them. That one I grabbed out of there, and took it. And next thing you know, I'm unresponsive.
Wow.
For a long time. And it was out of body, you know what I mean? My family and my friends and stuff all around and seeing me in that state. I'm not knowing, but to be surrounded by people that think you're okay. You know what I mean? Oh, he a rapper. He was just T.I. I just seen him on TV.
Right.
They was at the award. They think you're okay just because of that. You know what I'm saying? But in the inside, like, it was things that, I didn't want to battle. I didn't want to face, you know what I mean? And, just padding it, with drug use.
And coming out of it, how did that impact your life?
Coming out of it. I realized that God he was watching over me and he carried me through that.
Yeah.
It impacted me because I felt like what had happened was for a reason. And I felt like my children was looking, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My mom was looking, and it made me feel like, it made me feel really terrible to be having these opportunities to be in a position to where I can, earn money and stuff like that, and to be in the hood buying a perk and then overcoming it. It was weird, man, because I didn't understand it. You know what I mean? Then I knew that I had a story behind it. You know what I mean? I wanted to show my family that I could break that generational curse. You know what I mean? And I made sure that once I got another chance, I was able to shed light on it and talk to people about it. You know what I'm saying?
That's great. I want to give high props to your family, because a lot of people have to struggle with addiction and codependency, don't have a support base. And they end up getting swallowed because they don't have people cheering for them and pulling them, encouraging them. That somebody could be watching this podcast who is struggling with addiction and don't know how to find their foot in that ground. And what would you say to them today?
It's all about timing and how much you want it. You know what I mean? A lot of people try to get me off drugs a lot of times, and it was on their time. I got tired of being tired. I got tired of, running the same play and getting the same results. You know what I mean? If I could say something to a person that was going through addiction, is look at what you have. Look at your family. If you have kids, look at your kids. And take into consideration what their life is going to look like if you keep showing them, something, if you keep demonstrating in front of them what you're demonstrating, because eventually your child going to pick it up. Your little brother going to pick it up.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have to be mindful and cautious about how you're living, because somebody's watching. You know what I mean? That's why I felt like I couldn't go back down that road. You know what I mean? Because it's too much. It's too much at stake right now. It's too many young people out, strung out on drugs, and the most important thing is a support system. In whatever you do, surround yourself with people that'll hold you accountable for the things that you do. Because there was a lot of people around that really didn't care. wanted to see me high,
Yeah.
want to see you high.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Want to see you out your mind. Because while I was out my mind, I was giving away money. Yeah, you can come to the show. Everybody come. Hey, man, look, how many of y'all live? I'm paying for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Or when y'all get here, all the bottles and stuff, the girls over here, every night, repeat. And then when I got that bad pill or whatever, nobody was there to save me. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't depend on nobody. They didn't even know what to do with me.
Yeah.
Because I'm out. What we about to do? Or, and these supposed to be my twins. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're my twin, don't even know what to do with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So while my young people out there and you calling people your twin, if that's really your twin, say something. Don't just sit there and watch this man do himself like that. You know what I mean? Always give words of encouragement. So make sure you surround yourself with people that actually care about you, people that will tell you no and that know you, people that know and know you. You dig what I'm saying?
So association brings about assimilation. Your transformation made you pull out a butcher knife and cut some people off.
Yes, I had to.
Yeah. How difficult was that?
So the transformation came, it started with this. I got rid of the iPhone because the stuff that I was seeing.
Gen Z, if y'all are watching, hold that phone up. This is the last relic. It's the last.
Yeah, that's it. This is the last of the Mohicans.
This is the last relic of the 80s. This is right after a Motorola two-way pager.
Yeah.
We went straight to these.
Simple and plain.
Okay.
So
You got rid of the iPhone. Why?
Because in my addiction, going on Instagram, the likes, the women, the attention, the validation, you dig what I'm saying? It played a part in my addiction.
Wow.
Because I used to get high and go on there and I used to be like, oh, well, and then this girl, hey, you look good. I take these pictures while I'm high and then, I get this validation, then I repeat. And then I just, and I'm going to sleep with this chick and I'm going to sleep with that chick this week, that, you know what I'm saying? So I had to cut that off because it reminded me of what I used to be.
Wow.
And it played a big part in it. And if I go back there, I just might as well pick back up the drug because that walked hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? So I cut myself off from that for a good while. You know what I'm saying? So
you don't do any social media?
Monitor.
Okay.
So say, for instance, you were my manager, you have the iPhone and you know what I'm saying? The management team will be like, hey, look, you need to answer this. Whoop, whoop. Jamal Bryant said something good today. You want to come in on that? Right. I'm like, yeah. Whoop, whoop. Then all that DM and stuff, I don't really answer those like, on.
Do you know how much discipline that is? Yeah. In a social media culture. I said to my church, I can fast from food.
Yeah.
But you asked me to fast from IG, I'm going to be Pookie the crackhead. I'm scratching myself like, how much longer I got?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's
And how long have you shifted to that?
Going on 3 years. I just got this because I can't. And then like I have like ADHD. I'm a bit of a narcissist sometimes, and then like, it's too much of me going on there. You know what I'm saying? It's too much looking at myself, turning the camera on myself, talking about stuff that only fits me. And if you don't fit me, then it's really not what I need to be on. Like if y'all ain't on what I'm on, then y'all ain't on that thing. And I had to get out of that and recognize that I got a son here watching me. You feel me? It can't be all about me if I have children. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? What are they going to think? And then like some of the stuff that I look at on there, and I don't know what y'all feet look like, but mine was booty rocking everywhere. Bra, panties, swimsuit. You feel what I'm saying? Shoot out from this guy. Gossip about that guy. You know what I'm saying? What this girl doing? Do she got a 30-inch week? You feel me? So after I take all that in, and then I got a family. I got kids, I got a mama, I got a sister, I got a brother. And when I get around them, I regurgitate what I've been taking in.
Wow.
You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. So I can't feed myself all of that all the time because it just adds more to the monster. So I cut that off. And then when I got rid of the social media stuff, I had to change my number. And when I changed my number, I had some close partners, man. You know what I'm saying? That we talked every day.
Yeah.
I used to be at the spot, at traps and stuff, places I don't supposed to be, clubs. And, at the end of the day, you give people your number, and I had changed the number, and I didn't give it out to I can count on my hands how many people can call me right now.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
That's serious.
Yeah. I didn't even see, she said turn the ring off when I got here. I didn't even have to turn it off because I know it's not going to ring, especially not at this hour, because I'm not connected to the people that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The people I was connected to ain't even up right now.
Right.
We get up at 5 or 6 o'clock in the afternoon, you know what I'm saying? So once I did that, and to be honest with you, I thought life was going to be messed up I thought life was going to be lame when I stopped doing drugs. I thought life was going to be lame when I stopped hanging out in clubs. I thought life was going to be lame when I wasn't around the average dope dealer or the who's who in the street. You feel what I'm saying? But nothing is going on while you getting your stuff together. Nothing in the streets is going on while you getting your stuff together.
Man, listen,
not important.
I need that on a bumper sticker. Nothing is going on when you getting yourself together.
Yeah.
They say that you have to have an addiction to replace an addiction.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, when they stop smoking,
mm-hmm.
they gain a whole lot of weight.
Yeah.
Because they got to eat something.
Yeah.
Something got to go in your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
When it is that you moved out of the addiction of codependency, what did you replace it with?
Be honest, the word.
Wow.
I replaced it with the word, and it sounds like cliche, you went to church, but it sustained me in rehab. We used to have to get up at 7:30.
In rehab.
Yeah. And then we'd be in the room, we'll meditate and stuff like that. For some reason, I was on Cali time because I flew to California to get recovery. And for some reason, I got up early because I was from Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? And I wasn't just on that time, but I used that time to go into ministry. I look at Sarah Jakes or Noel Jones or, you feel me? Even you, I was watching you this morning, and I want to get me a cabinet. You know what I'm saying? I want to start me a cabinet and locate my people.
Yeah.
But this is what sustained me. Crazy though, you know what I mean? Because I come from the church, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I replaced what I would replace on Instagram with YouTube of ministry, messages, you know what I mean? I watch Bishop Bronner, you know what I'm saying? I watch him, and and I do this faithfully though. I look at it and it just feeds me, and it feeds me to the point when I look up, time gone, and I got information in my head now that I could share. That's worth sharing, or something that could do me some good when I'm of age. You know what I mean? Because a lot of these things that we're into these days stunt our growth.
It's a full circle moment. There's a scripture that says, train up a child in the way that they should go. When they grow old, they won't depart from it. Mm-hmm. Man, Smith Chapel coming back out of you.
Yeah, I can dig it. I can dig it.
Everything that was deposited in you, it is out of that. Was it then easy for you to call in Kirk Franklin and say, man, let me do something that's going to put me on another path?
I think all of that was God, because I couldn't have asked for a better way to tell about my overdose, because I had been hiding it. I knew the people in the hood on Campbellton and the West Side, Bankhead. I knew they knew. Some people, it was the whispers. Right. I drove this. But I kept it on the caps, and I appreciate God for shielding me. Because that moment could have been viral. I'm pretty sure I got recorded. Yeah. That could have been a moment, and for my children to see. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't have asked for a better place to tell the story. You know what I mean? One day Tip called me. I think I was at the crib just vibing. Tip hit me. He was like, "Hey man, what you think about this beat here?" And then it had Sunday service on there, and mind you, that original song never would have made it. I initially cried. I'm an empath, so I cried off of that. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then so I heard the song. I'm like, I most definitely want to do this.
Right.
And he was like, yeah, man, I think you should get ready to tell your story on here. And I was like, bet. I didn't know that, Kirk was coming.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So one day I pop up at the studio and man, we in the studio and it's just a great day. And I hear the track playing. I'm like, he must finna do the song without me. He walking like, oh, you got your verse ready? I'm like, yeah. And he was like, oh yeah. And Kirk on the way. I'm like, Kirk on the way. And then Sunday service came in, the live choir.
Wow.
Man, I was like, this is the time. I'm about to say it.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I'm about to tell this story and I'm about to say what I need to say. You know what I mean? And I want to say this. I want to say this to God out loud. Thank you. You know what I mean? For saving me. Thank you for sparing me. Thank you for looking out for me, man, considering me, acknowledging me. You know what I mean? And bringing me through most of all. Thank you, Jesus.
What are you most thankful for?
What I'm most thankful for is peace. A peace of mind that God gave me because I was so bombarded with noise.
Yeah.
It still lingers, but it's not as much. I can hear what I need to do better. I have discernment. I'm cautious. I see things different. I have a better vision about what I need to sustain me while I'm on this earth. You feel me? I want my grandchildren to look at me and say, he broke the curse on the family.
Wow.
You feel what I'm saying? I want my grandchildren, my great grands to look at me and say, Pop did his thing. You know what I'm saying? Like it was about to get him. It got him, but
he came
through it. You know what I mean? I'm thankful for that.
What is, with thanks, do you have a regret?
What regret?
What is your biggest regret, if you have any?
My biggest regret is ever picking up drugs. That's my biggest regret.
Yeah.
The reason why I say that is because how it dismantles a family, because my family is totally dismantled. And I see how the separation of family, and it makes you walk away from things that you actually need. You know what I'm saying? People don't understand how much they need God, how much they need family, how much these things are, they're very powerful, but drugs will make you walk away from that. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's why a lot of us are lost today, is because we kick God out the house. You know what I'm saying? And if you kick God out the house, the family most definitely gonna break. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have never tried drugs.
Would you consider yourself now, after that Thank You project, do you see yourself as a gospel artist?
I mean, it's a lot to that. The church people think a gospel artist is one thing.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yes.
My grandmama considered me a gospel artist. You know what I mean? Because I've always acknowledged God through whatever I've done. I just did a song like 2 nights ago with Dietrich Haddon.
Wow.
Yes. This is my second one with him.
Okay.
Yeah, I got one with 1K Few. He's a young artist.
Yeah, I know him.
Yes. And we make the trap say hallelujah. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah. So I've always held him high. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't want to mislead anybody on what my story is and where I come from.
Yeah.
But I have the right to tell you where I've been, what I've seen, and what I'm used to seeing, and where I'm headed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of things that I used to do I don't do.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? It's certain moves I can't make anymore because it don't line up with where I'm headed.
Man, your soul is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Your soul glows in the dark.
Thank you.
I'm telling you, your heart is pure. God gotta honor it.
Thank you.
No, I'm inspired just listening to you.
Appreciate it.
What do you see as your future? What's going to happen next?
Oh man, I see myself in real estate. I see myself with a diversion program with people just like me, in the music industry that's coming out of addiction, that want to be able to have a voice and straighten yourself up for your family.
Yeah.
Even for your friends. I see myself pushing this It Still Takes a Village nonprofit that I have, because I felt like, It Still Takes a Village was important back then, and we kind of shied away from it, but it's still important now because, with our kids and stuff, we need a village to raise, to take care of each other. You know what I mean? A congregation, fellowship, with people that do it, with like-minded people. So It Still Takes a Village is a nonprofit that I have that, we're educating and combating senseless gun violence and bridging the gap on mental and behavioral health. We in the schools, the homes, we in the communities, just giving back. And we trying to spread the word, man. You know what I mean?
If you were to preach one sermon to the hip hop community, what would it be called?
If I was to preach one sermon to the hip hop community.
Because you already got a message in you. You already got one in you.
It'd have
Unleash it out the chamber. You got it in you.
It would have to be redemption. You know what I mean? Coming back from something is always, experience is the best teacher. You know what I mean? So if you've been through something and you want to make that right, because I'm still correcting things that, addiction and, stuff that messed up. You know what I mean? I
was excited to see Cleveland honor you for your work and for being a role model. The Bible says a prophet is without honor in their own home. We ain't in Cleveland. Yeah. Cleveland is the heart of rock and roll.
Yes.
Atlanta is the home of trap music. Do you think that Atlanta is prepared for the new Young Dro?
Of course they are. I think, a lot of people that I know, they're resisting on preachy people to them.
Yeah.
You feel me? But I think they would accept it coming from me because I'm just like them. You know what I mean? And they can relate to a person that has been through what I've been through and actually telling them that the other side looks better.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a better way.
No, I'm excited. We have seen in the hip hop evolution, many people who have juggled it, from Reverend Run. As an honorary citizen, you got Black China, who got everything removed to move forward. You had Pastor Mace. I don't even know if he's pastoring anymore. And now you are coming through. Every generation, God always puts a plant.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. He's radical.
Yeah, and I think that you are the plant for this generation to say it's okay to be in the kingdom and be cool.
Yes, it is, man.
Yeah.
I want to. That's what I think I'm here to fill the gap on. You know what I mean? It's okay to be upright.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And still handle your business. You know what I mean? You ain't got to be no sucker about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's player to be good and righteous.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because at some point you have children. Families are watching, You don't want nobody to grow up in that same thing. You have to break these curses on that, whatever that may be or whatever that looks like. You know what I mean? In the music industry, we just, if I have to be a vessel, then I will be, you know what I mean? Because stuff is still happening for me. We nominated for a Grammy on J. Cole album, you know what I'm saying? And
congrats.
It's player, that's player, you know what I mean? And it's still moving for me in this moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think Atlanta for embracing me, for, and still loving me and not, frowning upon. There's a lot of people try to make me feel ashamed about, going the way I'm going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't, I've survived storms. A few raindrops won't hurt.
Man, I love it. Man, you dropping all kind of gems.
Yeah.
I survived storms, so raindrops don't hurt.
Yeah.
Is that a bar? Can I take that?
That's a bar.
No, that's great. You talked about going into real estate while having a Grammy. Do you think futuristically that music will still be primary, or you see yourself evolving out of it into something else?
Well, it's a gift that I've gotten from God to be able to have a voice to rap the way I do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm always going to be musically inclined. You know what I mean? I can do more than rap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't want people to get misled by who I am. You know what I mean? What's important is what I do. You know what I'm saying? So if I do transition to different things, I always will have music as my foundation.
Yeah. Evolving is a difficult thing,
Mm-hmm.
not for the artist,
Mm-hmm.
but for the audience.
Yes.
It's,
Preach it.
yeah, it's not hard for the artist to do, the audience to do. I'm a die-hard D'Angelo fan.
Me too.
That's my guy.
Yeah.
How does it feel?
Yeah.
Every time I listen to him, I'm going to do 10 push-ups just to get myself together. Then he came back, and that second album, it was almost like an ode to Jimi Hendrix. So it was more guitar infused. And the audience like, this ain't what we signed up for. Go in the back and take your shirt off and come on back here.
Yeah.
How is it in the tension of being a creative, of making your audience evolve with you?
It's
because a lot of people just want to hear you go back to strip.
Yeah. So it's tough. You know what I mean? The reason why it's tough is because, like, to be honest with you, you have to evolve in ways that matter. You know what I mean? I can't make a new song about what all that stuff I used to talk about.
Yeah.
It's impossible. You feel what I'm saying? And, that means, so if I was this tall and then I grew here and then you didn't grow, that means that I had to pass you.
Yeah.
You feel me? It's another audience that's up there with my height. You feel what I'm saying? So I can't sit with people that no longer, is like understanding about what I'm rapping now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm not going to talk about popping a pill. I'm not going to talk about, you know what I'm saying? I could tell you what a pill did to me a long time ago, but I ain't going to give you a reference to, oh boy, I took this and you know what I'm saying? So if you're looking for that, then, you ain't my audience right now.
Wow.
You know what I mean? My audience has changed. But you know what? I still got street in me that has to be acknowledged because street is street, regardless of how you look at it. You feel what I'm saying? With drugs or without drugs. You feel what I'm saying? Things still happen in the street. I know some sober people that straight gangster. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's almost like, trying to please everybody is just like, you know what I mean? You outgrown them.
One of my closest friends is gospel artist Smokey Norfolk. For a season, he was just tired of singing I Need You Now. He was trying to go to places and just sing new songs, and the people was like, come on now, just get to it. What is, in your evolution, the hardest song for you to perform?
The hardest song. It would have to be it'd have to be FDB. And FDB is people be like, why you ain't saying FDB? I was like, dude, we're on church grounds. I mean, once so we had a sneaker bar. I go to Jackson. My cousin is Gregory Sutton.
Yes.
At Jackson Memorial.
That's my guy.
So we had a sneaker ball.
That's your real cousin?
Yes.
No way in the world.
Yeah. So my actually real cousin is Gail Sutton, and she's married to him.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
We're family.
Yeah.
We had a sneaker ball, you know what I'm saying, one time, and they was like, you gonna perform? I was like, what am I going to perform? So they was like, man, do shoulder lean or do so and so. I was like, then one person was like, FDB. I was like, what are you talking about? I'm not doing like what? They was like, do car ain't got no rules. I was like, no, I can't do those songs.
Right.
But it's hard to. That's why I'm glad I got in touch with Kirk Franklin. I'm glad I did Dietrich Haddon because now I have an audience that's different from what my regular audience is.
Yeah.
I'm reaching new heights. Like I'm on the Portia Bruner show and people walking up to me, older people, baby, I seen you on TV.
Yeah.
And that song you sung on that. And I was able to do Thank God. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and then they said, you did the little shoulder lean thing. And that's one of the easiest ways to explain something because it's more about a dance and culture and having fashion on, you know what I mean?
No.
So it's pretty cool.
Listen, FDB, I got to get out of here. Thank you so very much for hanging.
It's crazy.
My time is up, but I'm grateful. Listen, man, your authenticity is palatable. I mean, it's a pandemic. The glory of God is just on you. And what I really respect and honor about you is you represent God without hiding behind scripture.
Right.
Your spirit is just emanating who God is. And I ain't feel it all the way over here.
Oh, man.
And I'm telling you, you got a quiet presence of representing the kingdom just in your aura. And I think people are going to be transformed and impacted just because you're light.
That's big coming from you.
No, I'm telling you.
It's clear.
Yeah,
That's clear.
I'm telling you. And I'm grateful. So I hope all of you will make sure everybody who's doing the show to lean will now lean in to Jamal Bryant. Let's be clear. This is my boy, the real mayor of Atlanta, Young Dro. See you next time.